Hey, remember that update video that I made? Well, it's been almost like 2 months and like radio silence on my end. Well, I kind of have an explanation for that. I mean, I got very busy and sidetracked, over these past few months. There was a video that I wanted to upload almost right after that update video. And that video was my thoughts on The Long Walk and One Battle After Another. I wanted to, give my thoughts on those, but just got too busy. And now that it's been like, 3 months, almost 3 months since they came out, I mean, you can watch them at home now. You don't have to go to the theater. And also, they've been reviewed so much that if I did like a full video giving my all my thoughts on it, then it would just be kind of redundant because I mean, I don't really have much else to say about those movies that hasn't been said already. So this is just like brief thoughts of The Long Walk and One Battle After Another. Of course, timestamp is like right here if you just want to hear my thoughts on Zootopia 2. So here we go. So first, The Long Walk. The Long Walk, adapted from the Stephen King novel. And I would say that, I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't think it was perfect, but I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the premise was interesting. I guess one of the biggest complaints, or going into it, I thought it was going to be like a terrible teen dystopian movie, I don't know, Maze Runner, or I haven't seen the Hunger Games, but something like Hunger Games or whatever. That'll be like that. It wasn't. It was rated R. It was violent. It was effective. I liked it. I guess one of the biggest criticisms that people have of it, from what I can gather, is the premise. And I wasn't too bothered by the premise. I thought it was interesting. And the characters. The characters, I would say, are very derivative of Stephen King characters. If you've seen a Stephen King, or if you've read a Stephen King book or watched a movie that is an adaptation of Stephen King, then you're familiar with these kinds of characters that he writes. Of course, if you're not in the mood for that, then it's going to seem very annoying and almost outdated. This is supposed to be, I guess, set in modern times, and these kids still talk like this. I thought that was weird. I mean, that I can understand why that would bother some people, but me personally, it's kind of comforting for me. I kind of like that, it's nostalgic. So if you don't like the way Stephen King writes his characters, then you're going to be really annoyed by this movie. And also, I guess another thing I should bring up too is the racial aspect of it. For example, the two main characters, one of them, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, the other is a black actor. And there was, very, a lot of people complain the black character was very subservient to the white character. And I can understand where that criticism comes from. Of course, you couldn't tell already, I am not black. I am indeed white. So I don't feel like I can, talk that much about it. But I will say that I understand where that criticism comes from. It's completely valid in my mind, but also very the parts where he is he does save Philip Seymour Hoffman's son a lot, and he really cares for him, almost in a romantic way. There was some tension, or some romantic tension between the two of those characters, and I thought that was interesting. I don't know if anyone else caught onto that, but that's how I felt when watching it. But yeah, Long Walk, good movie. I'd watch it again. It's pretty disturbing. I mean, it's very dour and depressing. I don't know if I'd watch it anytime soon, but yeah, that's about it. And now moving on to One Battle After Another, the new PTA movie, and perfect. I mean, it's a perfect movie in my mind. I have no qualms with it. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. And I would describe it as if Paul Thomas Anderson tried to make No Country for Old Men. And it's perfect in its execution. I love One Battle After Another. I can't wait to watch it again. It's really inventive. I don't want to spoil anything about it. It's perfect. I was literally at the edge of my seat the entire time I was watching this in the theater. That's the effect that it had on me. 10 out of 10. I mean, I've heard like Oscars buzz on this, like people saying that this might win Best Picture, and if it does, I'd be completely fine with that. Like, this is a very respectable Best Picture winner right here. I don't think a lot of people would complain either. I think they'd be like, you know what? Sure. Yeah, it was good. But like, I mean, I haven't seen that new Park Chan-wook movie yet. That might be my favorite. I really like Park Chan-wook, but you know, as I'm recording this, it's my favorite movie of the year so far. But, yeah, that's The Long Walk and One Battle After Another out of the way. So on to my thoughts on Zootopia and Zootopia 2, of course. So Zootopia 2, I thought was an improvement over the first one. I really liked the first one. Of course, I haven't seen Zootopia 1 in many years. Like, I was very young when I first saw it, and the last time I saw it, I was also very young, but I was a little older than the first time I saw it, because in case you didn't realize, that's how time works. And I remember as a young child watching Zootopia, enjoying it quite a lot. It was just a fun experience. Like, it was fun. It was, you know, dramatic. It had all this like stuff that went way over my head. And it wasn't until years later when I watched the Walter Hill movie 48 Hours when I realized that Zootopia was just a remake of that. And 48 Hours, one of my favorite buddy cop movies. It's just, you know, it's pretty much, I guess, everything that Zootopia isn't. Because obviously because it came first, but also because it's rated R, so they were able to lean into like some of the more, I guess, uncomfortable parts of it, I guess, more. And I guess that's what I liked about it. But with something like Zootopia, felt kind of neutered in a way. Like, it felt a little neutered and like kind of confused. And I think that was like just it's like just strange decisions. Like, you know, they have these like, you know, predators and prey, and they're doing both a commentary on race and on gender. And I can see why people didn't like Zootopia 1 is what I'm saying. But I like it for the fact that of the novelty that it is a remake of a hard R buddy cop movie from the 80s. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Zootopia 1. So going into Zootopia 2, I was very excited for it. I mean, I heard that it was better than the first one. And like specifically how like just certain aspects of it were, I guess, more like honed in better than the first one. And, you know, after watching it, I can understand why. Like, this does follow the Disney formula, and I'll get into that, but it follows the Disney formula in a way that feels refreshing, and that's what I liked about it, was that it felt refreshing to watch. Of course, you know, you had the twist villain, but the twist villain didn't feel trite, and didn't feel like, you know, you saw it coming. Like, you know, once the twist villain happened, like, oh, like, it makes sense. Like, that makes sense why that would be that character's motivation and why he presented himself like that. I guess, like, spoilers. But yeah, it was an interesting twist. I mean, the formula was subverted, of course, because it's a kids movie. There is a second act breakup. I mean, there was a second act breakup in the first one, but there is a second act breakup in this one. And I would say they did the second act breakup a lot better in this, because the arc in this movie, the character arcs, were they built upon the first one in a satisfying way, in my opinion. For example, like, I don't know if this is a good comparison, but imagine Shrek 1, it's its own movie, but then Shrek 2, you know, it's a sequel, but it can kind of stand on its own because it builds upon the good foundation that was the first Shrek movie. And that's why a lot of people like Shrek 2, and why they even say it's better than the first Shrek movie. And that's how I feel Zootopia 2 is. It builds upon the first movie in a satisfying way. For example, Nick is distant. His flaw is that he is distant and doesn't attach himself to anything. Like, he runs away. While Judy is very determined and almost has a savior complex. Like, she is determined on solving this case. And because she solved the previous case in the last movie, she's got a huge head about it, of course. And those are their flaws, and the arcs that they have suit their characters. Like, they build into each other. They're the opposites, and that's like what makes it work for me, is that because they both have strengths, their arc is learning the strength in what the other character has. And that's what I found interesting and very satisfying. So, yeah, very satisfying character arcs. Of course, because it followed a formula and because it's a kids movie, I was like, I wasn't expecting the ending. Like, the ending, I was like, oh, okay, this is a nice ending. Like, I hope they don't end it on a dance party. And then guess what? Just like Shrek 1, it ended on a dance party. And I was like, okay. I groaned at that part. But thankfully, it wasn't a scene you had to watch. It was the credits. So you could have just left. And I'm glad that it left. Or I'm glad that you could just leave and you didn't have to watch a dance party. But yeah, Zootopia 2, very satisfying narrative experience. I mean, the everything else, of course. I mean, it's a Disney movie. The animation's going to be nice. The character designs. I like the comedy a lot. I like that they leaned like a lot more into like the, I guess, characteristics and almost stereotypes of like these animals a little more. There was one in the trailer that was like really funny. I mean, it was like a chameleon shedding its skin while like falling over. I thought that was funny. Sorry, excuse me. Oh yeah, and the action too. This was like more exciting than a lot of like modern action movies that I've seen, which is weird because, like, you know, this, you wouldn't think that this would be as like action packed as it was, but it is, and it'll keep your attention, is what I'm saying. It's a very, very good experience. I mean, if you're looking for a good family movie to watch, you know, take them to see Zootopia 2. It's just good. It's good. I'm glad I saw it. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you're wondering why this video is in black and white, I felt like it. And also, if you're wondering why the video quality looks a little better, these lights that I'm using, originally there was an umbrella that, you know, I attached to them, and like the umbrella is to balance the lighting, and you know that has its like benefits, but the problem is that when you're like pointing it away from yourself and so that the light is balanced on an umbrella, you're not getting as much light. And of course, that would when I'm not getting as much light, that would affect the gain. So I'm just pointing, I took the umbrellas off and I'm pointing the lights directly in my eyes, and it's hurting them a lot while I record this video. So thank you for watching. I have a couple more video ideas in mind that I would like to make after this video, but I'd have to do like some research and planning before I do those. And hopefully, I can have those videos out by one of those videos out by next week. That is all. Bye. I just noticed that the video is slightly out of focus, because usually I have this camcorder on autofocus, but I guess it just wasn't on autofocus when I recorded this. You're not going to make me record a whole video again, are you? So, I'm sorry. So, hopefully this looks a little better. This is in focus, I hope. So, sorry about that. Shouldn't be like this in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye.